Welcome to Let's Discuss, the show where we discuss things that I think are worth discussing. Today we're discussing Robert Pattinson's Batsuit. Basically, this was the first. I'm here joined by Jack, Zach, and Dylan, who are all comment on our streams that we stream on on Twitch. So if you want to check those out, feel free to go to the link below and check out our Twitch. Anyway,
buy our stuff.
Most of you aren't really that familiar with Batman, right?
Nope.
I've got a lot of photos queued up here, so we can kind of go through the history of them and give our ratings for each one of the suits, whatever we think. We'll discuss what we like about the suits, what we don't like about the suits, and then kind of, keep it, because I'm not really a huge fan of this new suit, but we'll see what you guys think. So this was the first photo that was revealed in a short little teaser that got put on fucking Daily Motion or something, some really low end, it was just uploaded to the internet and no one found it until it went crazy. So this is the first. That's Robert Pattinson in his suit. It doesn't. Okay, I'll go. It kind of gives me this the Daredevil kind of vibes. You know what I mean, from that suit, which I didn't really like this costume to begin with. I
just want to say I don't think I've seen a red bat before.
Well, the red Batman, that's not red. That's just the red lighting on him. That was just the lighting that they showed, and this is an extremely I think they've increased the brightness and stuff to bring it out because it was a really dark kind of trailer. But this is the new photo we've gotten of a stuntman wearing that suit from the new movie. You can see the new bat symbol. Doesn't really have any eyes or anything around the actual symbol. It doesn't have any ears, sorry, on the symbol. It's just kind of the basic wings, but it also looks like the wings are kind of shambled together with different parts and stuff like that. It kind of looks like it's armor first and the suit second.
Practicality over aesthetics.
Yeah, which I don't mind, but and you've got these goggle things. I'm wondering whether they will light up or something in the actual movie. I mean, I don't know how much of this movie they're doing practically, because normally they just replace the in all the Marvel movies and shit, they just replace it later on with CG. So I'm hoping they don't do too much of that.
True.
But what I don't like is these ears. These ears kind of look really weird to me, and it kind of looks like...
They look very pointy.
I don't mind them being pointy, but it's kind of it kind of bends...
Sideways.
Yeah, it bends in. It could just be the angle that we're looking at it, but it looks like, the ear kind of bends in and then goes up, which I think kind of ruins that sleek kind of flow, but it doesn't really look like this suit is going for that sleek aesthetic that Batman is.
But also remember that stunt suits are often in really fast-paced kind of sequences, so the odds of you actually seeing this suit in detail.
But I'm wondering, they've got to make it pretty similar to the suit that, it's supposed to be in the story of the movie. It's supposed to be the same suit, right? So it's not like they would make it completely different just for that stunt. So this is going to be the suit throughout the movie, surely.
No, but what I'm saying is they would have a low budget kind of a generic version of the suit, Cole's brand version of the suit, just for stunts to be thrown around in and stuff like that in case the actual suit gets kind of broken up. So seeing a stunt suit might not be the best way to actually...
Yeah, I think they should. I think they should release a look of what the full and they probably will soon. But from this photo, that kind of looks like a different cowl to me. That mask looks different.
Like the classic one.
Yeah, I prefer this looking cowl. Obviously, we can't see the ears in this, but that looks a lot sleeker and slimmer to Robert Pattinson's face. Whereas this is obviously a stunt double. This isn't Robert Pattinson. He's got a thicker chin kind of line. It looks like he's just a bit of a beefier dude, which I mean works, but. I'm interested to see what Robert Pattinson looks like in it. Let's go through, this was the last one we had, the Ben Affleck, which I fucking loved. I loved this one. What do you guys think?
I think Robert Pattinson's got a bit of a better jaw for the suit, but we're not really rating that up.
I agree. I think, Ben Affleck didn't really have that jawline that you're talking about, but he was kind of playing more of an older, kind of wearier, he's in his late 40s, early 50s kind of Batman. He's been through some shit. Obviously, Rob Pattinson's not going to be as beefy as this. I don't think he's going to be.
He looks like his kids just left him for his ex-wife.
This is okay. So, this is the first suit from the first Arkham Asylum game. I think this is great. This is like one of my favorite suits because it's got that like classic look, but it's got like the yellow belt. The ears are quite long. See how the ears? I can't go further. See how the ears?
They point up off the side.
They go. Yeah, they follow the flow of the cowl, which makes it look a lot more streamlined and kind of like slick, you know. Whereas here, yeah, like they go in and then up.
It could just be the angle that we're looking at.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It looks like if you were to look at that guy straight on, that it would kind of look like the normal suit.
Yeah, I'm not sure about
like
this
the
head.
ears at least.
It kind of looks more bulky than normal. Like perhaps they have some electronics in here, like for the eyes or something. It looks like his head would be smaller than that cowl by a fair whack to me.
It looks like that's some sort of like battle armor more than his actual suit already is.
Yeah, perhaps
armor,
this
like
is some different.
duty.
Perhaps this is some variant. I did hear that there's this theory going around online that this bat symbol is made from the gun parts that killed his parents or something. Parts of the gun that killed his parents. But I don't know. I do not know how accurate that is. That's just rumors I've been hearing online.
That's kind of leading more into a point that I wanted to make about the classic suit. So with like 2020, obviously everything's getting like grittier in film and everything like that. It's kind of moving away from the classic stuff, like the Adam West stuff and the comic book stuff, like you've got on screen now.
Yeah. So this is that basic classic look.
Yeah, and that's why Robert Pattinson's suit is like pure black, and like in the later Arkham games as well, why the suit is pretty much all black. If you've got any pictures of that, well, at least I think it's all black.
In which suit? Sorry. The later Arkham.
I think it's in the later Arkham games.
Yeah, so this is Arkham Knight. You've still got that grey, but it's definitely like a darker grey.
What about Batman vs Superman? Wasn't he fully black in that?
No, that was the Batman vs Superman costume.
Oh wow, okay.
It just probably looked darker to you because I mean in the cinema and the color grading and stuff it looks darker, but it definitely is grey and black.
Honestly though, I think the grittier look is probably better for, you know, someone who's one of their defining features for someone who's not really a Batman fan is the gravelly voice. Kind of matches to have like a dark, gritty kind of color palette, I suppose, of black.
I'm wondering what kind of tone this movie is going to go for, because I mean you could go Dark Knight with it and it's military armor that he's then turned into the Batsuit, which seems more realistic.
Yeah, that's normally the character for Bruce Wayne though, isn't it? Like that's normally the kind of way that he's portrayed.
Yeah, well either he builds it or he gets other people to.
An electric boogaloo party member.
all right. So so that's your basic like classic blue, grey, yellow, black kind of Batsuit. I'm totally cool with getting rid of that blue. Like that blue would just not look good today, and I think they did mostly get rid of it. Even in the Adam West, so
weird.
Even in the Adam West ones, it still has those blue highlights, but it's mainly black, grey, yellow. Yeah, they have the blue highlights, but yeah, I think that's kind of what this is supposed to be. The blue is kind of supposed to be the highlighting. But yeah, I'm not sure. Kind of like how Spider-Man never used to be blue. He was actually supposed to be red, black, but they used blue highlighting, and people just made that assumption that he was wearing red and blue.
Yeah. I think the blue is to just kind of show the depth of the cape, but then it's actually waving. Then
again, you don't. Yeah, absolutely. But it's blue on the boots and on the arms, but not
not on his little spandex tidy whities.
All right, so so let's just go through a flow of what has happened. So you go from your classic Adam West, obviously very campy. You wouldn't see that in a movie today. I think. I think the next.
We have standards.
I think the Batfleck took a lot of cues from classic era Batman. So like you've got the grey black. They've done away with the yellow. but it's definitely that kind of like grey bodysuit kind of idea. It just looks like they've just kind of modernized it a little bit. I was a real fan of this one. I'm not sure about the tiny little ears, but you know, I was a fan of this one.
He goes like a little poop, like the ears.
Little pop ears. Then you've got the Tim Burton Batsuit from the Tim Burton movies.
I like that.
This was this.
Oh yeah, I mean, I didn't even watch Batman. I don't even like Batman. I don't watch his movies, but that looks pretty good.
I think this was the next logical step from this to like a movie grade suit. That like you still kept the comic aspect, the yellow and the black. They got rid of the grey, got rid of the blue, obviously, but that was a damn good suit. Like it fits all together. There is a slight indentation into the ear, but not too much. Like it does basically flow with that pattern, like I was talking about earlier. The chin, like his mouth in that didn't look too great. I didn't like his mouth, his like chin in it, but you know. Then this one was just ridiculous. Look at the nipples.
What the fuck? They
have nipples on the suit.
This is definitely in the 90s.
Yeah, this is the 90s. This is just George Clooney Batman. The ears, I kind of just threw this in for your consideration, just to talk about it. Because I mean, look at these ears. Like, what the fuck?
Man, that girl is excited. You can just tell the nips are just popping out.
Yeah, like why did they feel to add nipples?
Everyone's favorite and
the silver. It's just, you know, you'd never see something like that again.
I guess nipples are both sexy and intimidating.
This is the Dark Knight suit. You know, went for that, like I was talking about earlier, went for that military, like, you know, kind of aspect look. I like it because I think it's like, it's not my favorite. It's absolutely not my favorite. They kind of kept that yellow aspect, but they changed it to gold, which I think looks better in a more modern setting.
Yeah, this is kind of suits the grittiness more than like a bright yellow, like in the Adam West one, definitely. This
is from the Dark Knight, and so they actually, like, you'll notice in these ones, the cowl is completely attached to the like neck, like, so the mask, he wouldn't be able to turn his head. You know what I mean? The mask is just completely attached to his shoulders and his head and his body. Same with this one. It's attached to his shoulders. So they would have had no possibility of moving their neck. Whereas in this one, they changed that and they added like joints so that he could move his neck and move his head around, which is something that this Batman did away with. He couldn't move his neck either. That was all attached.
It actually kind of looks like it kind of looks like the Robert Pattinson one also has that kind of thing, because it's like a collar coming up instead of like an attached cowl.
Yeah, that is a collar coming up around, so it looks like the cowl will kind of go underneath, like maybe almost like a fabric come underneath, and he'll be able to, like, it looks like he's looking to the side there, so he can obviously move his head. And here you can see they've got the collar as well in this one. So yeah, I think the cowl will go underneath that, and he'll be able to like turn his head and you know, do all the normal stuff. Similar with Daredevil, like he had that kind of like you know, it kind of went under his suit, but he could like move his neck and stuff really well. Let's have a look at the Arkham games suit. Had the same issue, like he wouldn't have been able to move his neck. This one looks like they added the ability to move his neck. But I mean, that's what the comic suit looked like. It ran down. The cowl was kind of like connected to the cape. Like it was all kind of one piece in the comics.
It wouldn't have been that he wouldn't have been able to move his head. It's just the fact that the cape would be hanging on by his neck rather than around his shoulders, like he's depicted as normally having it. See how okay, this suit was made out of like rubber. So like they were not able to move. Like when you watch the movie, you can actually see when he turns his whole fucking body around because he can't move his neck. I do remember like jarring shots of that actually.
Yeah, I don't know about this one. I think he had some mobility, but it was still like latex or rubber or something, that cowl. This kind of looks like, either it looks like it's made out of that rubber or like silicone or something, but it definitely looks like, it's really hard to tell with the lighting, but it looks like down his neck might be some different material, possibly.
Yeah, it kind of looks more like a suit of armor, like I was saying before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think they've taken cues from from the Dark Knight in that kind of like armor aspect. There is actually a photo of his arms, but I couldn't find it. He has like these metal, like silver metal things like running up his arms, like kind of like silver metal tubes. They could be darts or some sort. Right. And then this is the one we got from Gotham. This is the best, like, highest quality image I could find.
Oh, yuck!
Isn't that disgusting? Like, what? I think that was an awful suit.
That's like a mixture of Adam West and the Arkham games.
So, but however, the cowl looks pretty good. Like, if you cut the rest of the shit off, the cowl looks somewhat decent. Like,
the cowl looks very similar to the Dark Knight.
Let's have a look. Yeah, it definitely looks inspired by that. I think the Dark Knight is definitely smoother, has a bit more production value behind it. Yeah. This one looks like it's kind of made out of paper mache. But yeah, I don't mind the actual ears and the cowl on that. They kind of line up properly. It's just there's something with those ears that I do not like at all. Let's actually look at the Arkham. Okay, so the Arkham symbol there was just the normal standard bat. And then the Arkham symbol there kind of grew and got more stretched out, which I think that bat symbol looks very similar to this bat symbol. Like they've taken a little bit of cues, like how it's stretching all the way across his chest.
Yeah, I suppose.
Oh, this one was kind of doing that too.
Yeah, that's what I think, because my main exposure to Batman is through the Arkham game, so to me the bat symbol is like always meant to be across his chest, like that.
Yeah, so yeah, like originally it was just like a little symbol, but you know, that kind of looks shitty now. Like in real life, that kind of looks shitty. That was the best way they did it. That was the best way they did that little symbol, and the rest of it, they just kind of ditched it after that.
I think that's the best way they did it.
The Gotham suit just really fucked up a lot of things, really, and I didn't like it at all. All right, let's go through like rating what we think so far. Let's get rid of that. We don't need that. So like, what are your guys' thoughts on this suit so far? What do you guys think? I would
just from this shot.
Yeah, just from this shot.
I'm gonna say probably like a 6 because it doesn't really kind of resonate with the same military grade kind of Batman hardware that you kind of used to with the last two renditions of, the last two imaginings of Batman. Obviously not talking about Gotham.
Yeah.
But that kind of just looks a bit more like clunky and amateurish. But aside from that, it looks okay. I don't think it's super fair to be judging based on a stunt costume.
Yeah.
But I suppose time will tell.
I hope they do release a full photo soon of Robert Pattinson in the full suit. Like, they need to release that. Alright, so so a 6 and a 6 from Jack and Dylan and a 3 from me. Alright, what about the Affleck suit?
Oh, look, I give that one a 7.